Hey everybody, this is Dan. This is our week 9 update video for statistics in the spring of 2014. Looking forward to getting everybody's exams in the mail today. I have many of them that have been scanned and sent to me, so I'll get those scores out to you as soon as I have them graded. I will be reporting your midterm grades by this Thursday, but that's just a check to see where you're at so far in the course. You can always get your grades in my math lab, and I will have the Chapter 6 discussions all graded and put in the grade book as well. Chapters 4, 5, and 6 will be all good to go for sure by this Thursday. So just want to give you a heads up. We're entering into statistical inference, chapters 7 through 9. This is probably the most important chapters in the text, or in this whole course, I guess. And we've organized it differently. We've organized it with just this first week, we're just working on proportions. So notice that sections 7.2, 8.2, 8.3, and 9.2. We're actually taking parts of chapters 7, 8, and 9 this week and just focusing on proportions. So if I open that up, you'll see there's videos over those, animations, and then homework. So when you click on these homeworks, remember we're just looking at these first sections, and then when we go to the next group, it'll be on means, and that'll be again a different set. And then the third part is on deviation, analysis with deviation. So the big thing that's going to be different right now is this new formula sheet. So that's under test book and review materials here. And under formula sheets and tables, you're going to see the elementary stats formula sheet. So I've got it open right here. And this has everything we'll be needing for these chapters. And these may look very daunting, and they kind of are when you first look at them. But these are the formulas we're going to use to calculate confidence intervals and test statistics with hypothesis testing. That's page 2. So right now this week we're focusing on Z multiplier, or confidence intervals, one of these Z multipliers here. And this is an estimate. If we take a sample, or p hat, sample proportion, try to estimate what the population is like. We make an interval that we hope captures the true population proportion. So this first chapters, we're just looking at 1 and 2 samples. So inference and confidence intervals with 1 sample, and then another one we're finding the difference between 2 samples. And then for hypothesis testing, we're doing 1 proportion hypothesis and 2 proportions. And as you go through the videos and things, these will become pretty apparent. But in general, with our confidence intervals, we always take a sample. Even with these other formulas we're not looking at this week, it's always just a sample statistic, like p hat, sample proportion. And then we add and subtract a margin of error. And that's what all these are. And then the margin of error is different based on what it is. For proportions, we use Z, and this is where these Z multipliers come in handy. So if we want 90% confidence, Z is used as 1.645. If you want 95% confidence, it's 1.96. And remember, Z is how many standard deviations you are from the middle. And we're going to start with our point estimator. Like we poll a bunch of people, and let's say 42% want to vote for this candidate. That's 0.42 plus or minus our Z multiplier. And this is how we calculate our standard error, or the spread. And the sample size really dictates that N there. So that's what we're going to focus on this first week. And then this is just the difference between 2 samples, like 2 different polls you give. And then the other formula you're going to need is this last one here, is sample size required. Like, how many people do I need to test to be so confident that that's who's going to vote for this candidate, or whatever, capture to get the right sample size for the least margin of error here. So I'll be touching base on this every week, but we have spring break next week, which means I will not be posting another video for next week. And honestly, if you want to work ahead, that's great. But right now we're just working on these first chapters here over, and we're just using the Z table so far. And then, so chapters, let's see here, 7, 8, and 9, we're just doing these 3 this week. There is only 1 discussion board for all of these, and the first time anything's due is really March 31st. So you got 3 weeks before any of this homework is due, but I would encourage you to progress as far as you can. And it's just on hypothesis testing. So 1 discussion for all of these weeks right now, and it kind of encompasses all of the concepts. I think that's about it, but so if you have any questions, contact me, and hopefully you can make it to the office hour tonight. And yeah, and I'll be doing a lot more of these to kind of keep you organized and also help with some of these tougher concepts that are coming.